Okay, okay. Can you hear me? Hello, everyone. Let me know if you can hear me. Well, I'm in a different location now, so hopefully there are no technical difficulties. Yep, everything seems to work. How are you guys doing? I've been pretty busy over the last few weeks, traveling a lot. Um I was previously in Taiwan, and then I did not stream for 2 weeks. So the first one was because I was traveling to China, and let me tell you, Chinese custom officials, they have a tough job, okay? Because they're not very happy over there. Um, and then after that, had to travel back to Taiwan, stay in China for about 5 days. I needed to spend some time with my grandparents because my grandpa specifically, he's pretty old. He's almost there. Uh, he's 50% of his soul is already in the afterlife. So that's a family joke. But yeah, he's pretty old. My family wanted me to visit him and yeah, just spend some time with him because it might be the last time that we see each other. And then after that, I had to travel back to Taiwan. And then from Taiwan, I think the day that I planned to stream was the day that I had to fly from Taiwan to New York. So that was my flight back. And then in New York, that was really bad because for whatever reason, the schedules for um, domestic flights and international flights don't match, specifically for our flight. So for Taiwan to New York and then New York to Florida, um, yeah, it doesn't really like we couldn't make it work, and so we had to stay in the airport for like 8 hours, like waiting for the next flight. So that was not fun. Um, but then, other than that, I think I've adjusted to the jet lag, so I'm ready to go. Any news in your end? Anything happening? How's everything? Oh, also, my what I've been like training every now and then for the last few weeks, so I think I regressed. So my performance in terms of like strength, I probably regressed like 1 year worth of progress. So I'm not doing too well, but I'll get back. I'll get back. I was able to bring a bunch of Taiwanese snacks. So right now, for example, I'm eating this Oreos. I think you can see it. Double stuff lemon cheesecake flavor. It's pretty good. I think it was the last one when I bought it in 7-Eleven, and then I've been bringing some snacks. Here, studying for my finals, but I'm liking it. You're liking studying for finals? What? What do you mean you're liking studying for finals? Doesn't sound like you. For some reason, uh, the chat is not appearing in YouTube Studio. Give me 1 second. Let me try to fix it. Hmm, that's weird. But the chat appears in OBS. Well, I guess I'll just have to use the other chat. But yeah, that's basically life update. Kind of like adjusting to jet lag, traveling a bunch. Surprisingly, the flight between Taiwan and New York, which was supposed to be 15 hours, was not too bad. I flew so it was supposed to be 15 hours. And then I think as soon as I got into the plane, I just fell asleep. And then before I realized, that was 9 hours. Uh, well, it's a lot more straightforward, dealing with less BS and finally learning and more, understanding more my book. So you've been reading the book, and the content is straightforward. Back then, when I was studying, I remember usually what I would do is I would study for every chapter. So for every lecture, right, we would cover one chapter, and then before even going to the lecture, I would just do some reading about the chapter, and then after the lecture, I would just take notes on the lecture slides, and then that way I didn't have to study for everything at the end. because I would have like basically 75% of the content covered. I would just have to brush up in like specific details that I didn't understand. Like no homework, no projects, no BS work. Okay, that's good. Yeah, at least you can use all of your time to just focus on passing the final, I guess. Um, how many finals do you have this time? Usually for universities, one semester is like 5 courses, but I don't know in your case how it works. And also, I realized that like for US schools, you guys have a lot of vacation. Like um, for Christmas vacations, right? Like holidays, I think you have like a month. I think for us in Canada, it's only like 2 weeks or 3 weeks max. So at least when you finish your exams, you have like multiple weeks to rest. Yes, a whole month. But you guys have all summer. You don't? Like, we would end um, May, no, end of April, and it would have May, June, July, August, and then we'll start in September. So we have 4 months for summer. Yeah, we start in September, but it's like September like 3rd or 5th. Like it's at the beginning of September. Do you guys not start in September? Like, is it August? Late August? Okay, it's not that much of a difference. It's like a week. Like late August, like what, like 25th? If we start at 5th, it's like, yeah, like 10 days. Not too bad. It's not that much different. The good thing about Canada, though, I will say, when it comes to like university, is for every single month, I think we have a either a long weekend or a reading week. So like you basically have anywhere between 4 days of vacation every month till if it's a reading week, it would be like 9 days if you count weekends. So if you start September, I think September there's because you start late in September, then you have the first few days of September free, and then October is Thanksgiving in Canada, Canadian Thanksgiving, not today's holiday in the U.S. November you have reading week, and then December you obviously have Christmas. January you start later, like January 6th or 5th or something like that. And then February you have reading week again. March you have a holiday, and in April, I think you only have class up until the first week of April. The rest of it is like just exams, and then obviously you have summer, and you guys end early too. We end like around mid May. Mid May. Oh yeah, that's about 2 weeks later. So what is your exam period again? Wait, are you already in exams or are you studying for exams? Some of them are projects. Okay, those are fine, right? Because you don't really have to study. You just have to do some research, probably work with other people, and then just work on the assignment together. I think that one should be okay because you don't have to study that much and try to pass the exam. Unless you get like really like shit teammates, then in that case, then you're just unlucky. Oh, I remember. Let me tell you a story, okay? I remember during COVID when it first started at my university. The faculty I think was trying to and every single professor they were trying to scramble to try to like uh, assign projects last minute because a lot of the exams were canceled because obviously COVID had like everything in lockdown, right? And I remember that for one of the courses, they wanted us to do a group assignment instead of a final exam. And so they had assigned us like groups. But the problem is that a lot of the people in that class were international students. And because of the lockdowns, um, a lot of these people were flying back to their home countries. And so, because everyone was kind of like scrambling, trying to uh, you know, trying to fly back to their own to their home, right? So there were like I think every single member of my group, like I was unable to reach out to. Like we were assigned a group and then we would send messages and then no one would reply. The only person that was around was this girl who I guess she lived in Canada because she was like online, and then we did the whole assignment, just the two of us. And then to her credit, she did 60% of the assignment, and I did 40%. I did like less than her, like definitely I did less, like maybe like 35 to 40% of the assignment. She did like 60 to 65% of the assignment. And then yeah, she just took it for the team. She's like, I don't care, I'm not gonna report these people. um, like I'm not gonna like go to the professor and say that, oh, like, remove these people from the group or whatever. She just took it for the team, and we did the assignment, and we all got the same mark. So whoever you are out there, okay, the three people that that were free riders in our group, okay, I expect a thanks. Okay, my DMs are open. And then a lot of the other classes also, I think they allow us to just take the credit, because they were saying that like a lot of people were kind of complaining that their marks would be, or their grades would be affected because of the lockdowns and because of like all the craziness that was happening. So the university allowed for only that semester to basically uh, just count the credit, not count the grades of every course that was taken in that semester. A lot of people were unlucky though that year because um, at least here in Canada, in Toronto, um, lockdowns lasted for like 2 years or like a year and a half, almost 2 years. Um, so a lot of people who joined university on that year, they just basically lost like 2 years of like university experience. Like the first 2 years of university was just like at home. They couldn't do anything, which is kind of unfortunate. Because I feel like the first year, that's when everyone just gets a little bit crazy because for the first time you have like so much freedom. Like you're not like in high school. I would assume like most people are living under their parents, and when you go to university, a lot of them kind of go away, and then for the first time they have like a lot of freedom. They're not under supervision, so they start going crazy, partying or whatever. So that's usually what happens, at least here. Um, so the fact that there are a lot of people who didn't get to experience that is kind of unfortunate. How's your training going? You said you did 75s for 7, right? You know what's the funniest thing? Is that like I'm technically doing 75s right now because I got weaker. So you technically we're at the same strength. Although I could do more than 7. I can do like 8. So you're almost there. Yes, 2 sets, but I didn't have much time. I didn't try for a third. Uh, Most likely for the third one, you probably would have gotten like 6 reps, unless you didn't feel fatigued at all in the second set. Then you probably could have gotten 7 sets. But if you felt fatigued, then um, for the third set, it's probably 6 reps. That's my guess. I don't know. I lost so much strength, but like I didn't lose any muscle as far as I can tell. In fact, I gained a little bit of weight, but my strength went down because I just didn't haven't been training properly. Like I would train improperly. Like I would just do like a few sets because I didn't have access to any gyms in China. Like I stayed at a retirement home, and so I didn't have anywhere I could actually train. But before I did one set of 11 of 75. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I don't think I can do that now. Actually, I'm actually pretty weak right now. Like I have myself in video before leaving Canada doing 85s for 7. Okay, 3 sets, and now I can't do like 75s for more than 8. I lost too much strength. I don't know what happened. It's just all the traveling and then the jet lag and recovery and all of that. It's just been hectic. Just give me 1 second, okay? I wanna confirm if Nick is coming. Have you been training any legs? Because you only talk about like your progress for upper body. What about legs? For me, I trained legs so consistently, especially squats, that I can't squat anymore, technically, because my trap is fucked. 245 for 6. Okay, that's pretty good. That's I'm trying to like compare that to when I was able to do that like for the first time. you're progressing pretty quickly because when I did 245 for six for the first time, I think it was in 2022, like 2 years ago. So yeah, that's pretty good. That'll be like two plates plus tens on each side, right? Yes. Yeah. So 2 years ago, I was able to do that, and then slowly progress to uh, at my best. I think I was doing two. Hold on. If it's two plates plus 35s on each side, so that would be 295. Yeah. So at my best, I was doing 295s for six. Um, but that was before I left Canada. And then after I left Canada, and then the physical therapist told me, yeah, don't squat anymore because your spine is not good. Like the upper part, like on my neck area, it's just messing me up. And then I think I have like a really bad strain. Um, I think I have a pinched nerve, so I just need to let it heal. You should pre-fatigue and then do less weight. No, like I can't have any bars on top of my traps at all. So I'm just doing like leg presses and hack squats. Although like the hack squat machine in my gym is kind of ass, so I can only do like leg press, like super, um, like just heavy leg presses. That's the only thing I can do. What if you do Smith machine squats? I'm actually not sure because you still have a bar on top of you. Um, it's not that heavy, but I don't want to risk it. I just want to recover so I can squat in the future. I like those a lot, but I don't do them as often. Well, I mean, like if you have access to a hack squat, then you don't really need to do Smith machine um, hack squats because it's like exactly the same movement pattern. And I think like for university gyms, they tend to be like pretty good. So if you have like, I think you have a pendulum, right? If you have a pendulum and a hack squat, like that's enough. You don't need to do Smith machines at all. In fact, I would say if I had to choose, I wish I had a hack squat. But like, yeah, if I had to choose, I would say hack squat is probably the best leg exercise for quads, specifically for hypertrophy, by the way, not for strength. For strength, it will obviously be the squat. Um, and then squats, the only thing about squats, like they're really, really fatiguing. Like if you go to failure on a bench press, I feel like, it's tough. You'll be like super pumped and then you'll be fatigued. But if you do go to failure on a squat, you might die that day. The best case scenario is you're probably gonna end up like throwing up. The worst case scenario is you'll be dead. So always make sure to use safeties. Let's see the new buff Nick. Do you think you can like tell that much difference? Because the picture that he posted before, it was like mainly lighting, right? Like I don't know how much of it is like actual like noticeable results. Although he's been training for like 3 months consistently, so we'll see. His bench is also like going up quite a bit. I saw him do 205. Caught up to me in no time. Yeah. I mean, like he's been consistent. It's all about consistency and like proper. Because I also wrote him a program. So if you have a good program, and a good program doesn't really need that much. Like as long as you're training. Okay, so here are the standards. Okay, for building muscle. Okay, you need a program that does these two main things to build muscle. Okay, you can clip this. Okay, two things that you need to the two main things that you need to grow muscle. Number one is progressive overload. Okay, when I say progressive overload, I mean that over time the performance that you have at the gym, you're progressively improving. Okay, so whether it is increasing the weight in the bar or whether it is increasing the reps or maybe increasing the sets, of the exercise. Okay, so as long as your performance is improving, you're probably gaining muscle. Okay, that's number one. Number two is close proximity to failure. Okay, so like you can train every single exercise in the perfect form or whatever, but if you're not training hard, you're probably not gonna gain muscle. So you have to be uh, pretty close to failure. I would say anywhere between 0 reps in reserve, so no reps in the tank, and maybe 3 reps in reserve. So 3 reps in the tank. If you want to maximize, I would say between 1 to 2, but I would say acceptable, like the acceptable range is like 0 to 3 reps in reserve. Okay. But anyways, So I went on a tangent. Let me go back. So I made a program for him, um, basically saying that okay, you need to be consistent. You need to train. I think it was like 2 or 3 times a week, and then yeah, he's doing well. He's improving quite a bit. I'm not even trying to test PRs anymore. We can test by the end of the year. Like I want to test my deadlift because I feel like last time I didn't really max out, and this year I'm definitely stronger. Although I don't know anymore after this, like last month, because I became so much weaker from traveling. Now I'm focusing on the incline. I'm probably gonna start doing incline. Um, I think I want to try it out. I never really liked it, but fuck it, I'm just gonna try it out. Now we test before I come back to New York City. Sure, yeah, yeah, we can do that. I mean, we have a month in Florida, right? So we can just test. Bench is so annoying. It takes too long to like improve. And the dumb thing about bench is that you feel very comfortable at a specific weight, so you want to add like maybe like 2.5 pounds each side, right? And then when you add, that's a total of 5 pounds in the bar. That feels like you're carrying the weight of the world. It's impossible, okay? Just a little bit, and then you can't even do like half of the reps. It's ridiculous. Bench is so much genetics. Yeah, I agree. Um, it's so much genetics because it has to do with like how long your arms are, and then how big your rib cage is. On top of that, like how much, like how thick your wrists are, because it becomes like if your wrists are thicker, then you can like stabilize the bar a little bit better. How well you can arch your back as well. Um, yeah, it's very genetically driven. Your performance in the bench. Some people bench 225 in 2 months. Yeah, there's a YouTuber that I follow that his journey. He said that he went from 135 to 315. So like one plate to three plates in 10 months. That is that is unheard of. Okay, some people never do. Yeah, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Our rates are bad. Yeah, I don't think we have good wrist genetics. Especially me. Like I think my wrists are like thinner than yours. We just gotta work with what we have. Okay. Okay. Nick is coming in 5 minutes. The guy with the mustache. Which guy? Which guy are you talking about? Oh, I was gonna say I had this thought on my mind and I forgot about it, but I just remembered it. Um, in Taiwan, something very annoying in the gym that I went to. Remember the fitness factory that you also went to? That gym, they don't have 2.5 pounds plates, like the plates of 2.5 pounds. They don't have those. They only have 5 pounds. So like if you want to increase your bench, you can only increase by 10 pounds. Are you crazy? Are you trying to kill me? What the hell? My gym rarely has it. What? How do you progressively overload? 10 pounds at a time? Wait, there's no way. There's no way. I've been to so many gyms. I've been to so many gyms, okay? I've been to one, two, three different gyms over the past actually no, more than three gyms. At least three gyms. Over the past like 2 3 years. Uh every single one of them has 2.5 pounds. In mine they disappear sometimes. Oh, okay. So that's a different story, okay? Like you do have it, right? But people steal it or like misplace it, okay? That's a different thing, okay? I'm talking about like in Taiwan, they don't even have it. Like they don't have it at all. Like you ask the staff, they're like, yeah, we don't have. Like the smallest one that we have is 2.5 kilos. So that was annoying. That was so annoying. But then I plan to lock in next year, because for the rest of the year, my plan is to like try to recover all the lost progress over the last few months or the last month, and then After that, I want to be able to basically surpass my personal best. But Julio, in my gym, I find a 2.5 once every blue moon. Okay. You know what? Maybe your situation is comparable, okay? Maybe you only have two of them, okay? One per side of the bar, okay? Like once in a month. Okay. You know what? I'll give it to you. If that's the case, it basically you don't have them. It's the same thing. My back and legs get better. And never my bench. Um, yeah, I don't know. Bench is just one of those things that it just takes forever to to improve, unless you have the genetics. Um, I think for me, it's just taking me so long. People say that if you have a strong back, because your back is your foundation when you bench. So if you have a big and strong back, it actually helps your bench. Um, I think I agree with that. I just don't know how much it helps. The additional benefit of having a good back could be. I'm not saying that this is the case. I'm just saying that it could be so marginal that I'm not sure how worth it is mentioning that fact. Um, yeah, I don't know how like substantial it is to have a good back for your bench. No 2.5. Either you have the genetics or the 2.5. True. You can't have. In a perfect world, you could have both, but unfortunately, world is not perfect. So you gotta have one or the other. That's why gyms that have the 2.5, they only accept people with bad genetics. They're like, if you don't have good genetics, then you can come in our gym because we have the 2.5s. I have an interesting question for for you or like anyone in the chat. Okay, I have an interesting question. Okay, but then I need you to be serious. Okay, okay, I need you to be serious. Okay, the question is, how much muscle is too much muscle? And you can't say like, oh no, there's never enough. No, 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 no. Okay, there's clearly too much. Okay, like if you go outside and you ask people, hey, do you want to be like Ronnie Coleman? People are gonna say, you know what? That's a bit too much. You know, I don't want to look like a cloud. I don't want to have the stomach of the back of a turtle, right? I just want to be super buffed. Okay. Now the question is, what is super buffed? Open Olympia is too much. I agree with you. I agree with you. And I'm obsessed with fitness. I'm obsessed with like bodybuilding, okay? And I agree with you. Open Olympia is too much. So how much is like just right? Cuz I would even argue, I think Sebum is a bit too much. I think he's great for an inspiration, but I don't think I want to be like him. I think Will Tennyson is the limit. Um, Yeah, I think so. So you were saying something along the lines of like 190 for someone who is 190 pounds for someone who is 6 feet tall. If Will Tennyson cuts, he would look closer to Alex Eubank. Well, not anymore because Alex Eubank is on the sauce. I mean, like Will Tennyson has a like his genetics are like on a chunkier side. So I think like his bones are like thick too, and he has an uncontrollable appetite from what I've seen. So for him, it's like really easy to put on mass. But I think when he started his videos, I think like in the very beginning, he was uh, like pretty lean. So if you want to see a version of him that is like super like peeled, you just have to go to his first video. I think he was like 170 something pounds. He's a bit chubby right now. Yeah, because he's just trying to improve his performance. And unfortunately, when you are super advanced, you just need to eat a little bit more. A bit buffer than Jesse James West looks really good. A bit buffer than him. I think he already looks like pretty good. I don't know how much he weighs. I would guess like 180 something pounds. I don't know how tall is he. He's probably not 6 feet. He's like 5'10" maybe. Um, yeah, so 180 something pounds at 5'10" is probably really good. Like I think that's like already like top of what you should be aiming for if you're natural. So I have a lot of room to grow. Well, depends on my genetics too, but hopefully, right? Hopefully I would get to the like 180s. Like just 10 more pounds. Although everyone says that. Everyone says like, "Oh, just 5 more pounds, just 10 more pounds," but then they're never happy with it. They always want more. And then like the body fat percentage also matters, right? Like I could say, you know what, like 185 pounds for 6 feet tall or 5'10" is like really really good. But like it depends on like how much body fat we're talking about here. Like we should probably include like at 10% body fat. That's like top. Like that's already like pretty close to your genetic limit for most people, I think.